Well, thank you, Hillary. Well, we are in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month, and in Northwest Indiana, the way we kick that off is with the annual Mexican Independence Day Parade in East Chicago. And joining me now here to talk about the parade is the longtime sponsor of that parade from the Unión Benéfica Mexicana in East Chicago, is Antonio Barreda. Mr. Barreda, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, tell me real quick, how many years has it been for the Mexican Independence Parade? It's been one of the longest running in Indiana, correct?
The first parade of note was 89 years ago in 1926.
Wow.
Since that time, we have canceled it twice.
Okay.
Once was in honor of the victims of Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
The over 2,000 Americans that died.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, we received a communique from President Fox asking us to cancel every event in this country relative to the independence of Mexico. So it was scheduled for the 14th.
Uh-huh.
It occurred on the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So we canceled it. We had a march from a procession from Our Lady Guadalupe to the stadium. Mm-hmm. We had over 2,000 persons
mm-hmm.
with the bishop too. And we had a little ceremony at Block Stadium.
So it's definitely then one of the longest serving parades of any kind in Indiana, but certainly one of the first of the Mexican Independence Parade in the Midwest. What makes that parade so special?
Well, I think it's a similarity in how we celebrate here in the United States. Mm-hmm. We try to teach some of the contestants history, mm-hmm. Poise, education, things like that, artistic talent. Mm-hmm. But we try to tell them that there is if anybody knows the Constitution of Mexico, it is almost verbatim mm-hmm. a copy of the United States wow. Constitution. So it's a matter of how do we amalgamate the two cultures if there is a difference in the cultures, mm-hmm. okay, which is very, very little.
Well, speaking of cultures, we are in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month, which means more than just the Mexican heritage, September 15th through October 15th. Well, how significant is that? How difficult is it to bring all those Hispanic cultures together? And we're talking things like Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, Honduras, a lot of them.
Well, like love, music is universal. Mm-hmm. Okay, patriotism is universal. Mm-hmm. And this is what this is about. It's about a family-oriented event. Mm-hmm. It's about brotherhood. Mm-hmm. And something that I really like is the fact that for some reason or other, they lumped us together. And you know what? It's working out because there is a unity, a feeling of unity mm-hmm. amongst us, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Guatemalans, you name it.
Let me ask you this real quick, and there's been a lot of headlines about there have been some presidential candidates kind of bashing the Mexican culture. Is this kind of putting a sort of a damper on the festivities, or do you think people are going to sort of celebrate as much as they can, regardless of the criticism?
No, definitely no damper. I think that it has increased the interest in this type of event. Mm-hmm. When you talk about, let's say, the immigration problem, okay? Yes, there is a problem. And reform would put limitations on immigrants coming to this country. It would have requirements, mm-hmm. which we don't have at this point. If you go back at the wall of Jericho, it was 10 feet wide, 16 feet high, and they knocked it down. Mm. You take the wall in Germany, mm-hmm. gun turrets, barbed wire, concrete, people were still coming because we are the greatest country in the world.
Quickly, Tony, the parade kicks off at what time on Sunday?
11:30 Sunday.
11:30 Sunday
20th.
In East Chicago. From Block Stadium, goes to the marina in East Chicago.
Right.
All right.
The festival is going to be fantastic.
Great. Well, I'd like to thank my guest, Antonio Barreda. He's with the Unión Benéfica Mexicana out of East Chicago, talking to me about the annual Mexican Independence Day Parade happening this Sunday. That's all we have time for. I'm Michael Puente. We'll see you next week.